Hi everybody. Okay, welcome. My name is John. As usual, today we are going to see on the VLAN concepts. So we're going to see the VLAN concepts based on this simple topology, as you can see on the screen. We have this kind of network ina switch tatu na router moja. Pia there is two computer connected to each switch. One computer connected to each switch. And what we need is these two computer needs to access the internet, which is beyond the gateway. So our router, it's a gateway. Lakini tuna computer ziko connected na switch kama jinsi inavyoonekana. The connectivity is like here. Manake port ambayo computer imeconnect, it is called the access. Port ambayo computer connect, it is called the access port. But port ambayo interconnect between switches, it is called the trunk port. So these are the trunk ports because they are connecting between switches. So tunazita kama trunk port. So are the trunk interfaces. So hii ni trunk link kwa sababu ni linki kati ya switch 1 na switch moja na switch nyingine. Hii inaitwa access link kwa sababu ni linki kati ya switch na computer and device. So what we need is computer A and the computer B to communicate with internet, but we need our gateways to define kwenye router hapa. So we need our gateway to be defined on the router hapa. So we have two VLANs. One VLAN for our laptop A, it is VLAN 10, and the VLAN for laptop B, it is 20. So these two VLANs, they need to be actually defined on the router. So they have to they have to traverse from one switch to another with actual by layer 2, and when they reach to the router, we have to define the gateway on the router. That means we have to assign IP address on the router. So how can we achieve this kind of connections? As we know, router kama router itself, it is we cannot define VLAN on the router because it is layer 3, so it doesn't understand the VLAN. But we have a way to define VLAN's concepts kwenye router. So how are we achieving that? Actually this session inaenda kukuonyesha jinsi gani naweza achieve kitu kama hicho. So I have router hapa. So ili kusudi niweze kuzibind VLANs kwenye interface ya router, first of all, au ili kusudi niweze kuzipitisha VLANs kwenye interface ya router, kwa sababu router ni layer 3 device and all of its interface are the layer 3 interface. So we need to convert the layer 3 interfaces kwenda kwenye layer 2 kwa kuandika command ya port switch. You can write this command, then you will be able to convert the layer 3 interface to layer 2 interface. But if you don't need to convert the port of the router to layer 2, that means you have to find another way ya kuzibind zile VLANs kwenye ile router. So one of the concepts ambayo tunataka kuzungumzia leo actually inaitwa ni sub interface. So we can create a logical interfaces kwenye router by dividing or by actually by creating a logical interfaces kwenye physical interface moja. So the sub interfaces, hii ni concept ambayo inatokana na ku break down the physical interface kwenda kwenye form smaller interfaces. So we have one physical interface, but in this physical interface we create multiple logical interface ndani ya hii physical interface. So these logical interfaces are called the sub interfaces. So these sub interfaces, they can act like physical interface, but you can assign IP address on the logical sub interface. You can assign VLAN on the interface descriptions. You can assign any kind of protocol that you need kwenye router, you can assign on the sub interface. So one of the concept ambao tunazungumzia how we can implement VLAN tagging kwenye router kwa kutumia sub interface. So this is how we're going to achieve this kind of VLAN communications. Kama unataka kudefine hizi hizo gateway kwenye router. So tutakuwa tuna physical interface ambayo ni kimsingi ni G020. This is our physical interface that is connected to the switch direct. So I need this interface G020 nitengeneze logical interfaces ambazo nitabind gateway ya laptop A na nyingine nitabind gateway ya laptop B. How I'm going to achieve that? Nitaingia kwenye physical interface yenyewe, then nita add ile sub interface ambayo naitaka. So how do we create sub interface? It's just to add, you write the whole name of the physical interface, then you dot the VLAN or the unique number that you need to create. So kwa mfano hapa nataka nitengeneze sub interface kwa ajili ya VLAN 10 ambayo ni gateway ya laptop A. Nitachofanya nitaingia kwenye ile physical interface ambayo ni G002, then baada ya hapo nita add 10, which is our gateway VLANs. Then baada ya pale, kwa sababu this is a logical interface, so I need this logical interface to be tagged na VLAN 10. Kwamba whatever it is coming via this interface, it has to be encapsulated in a VLAN 10, VLAN ID number 10. So the command about tunaiandika ni VLAN type.1q 10. Then you can assign IP address on that interface. You can assign IP descriptions. You can assign ISIs. You can assign any kind of protocol ambayo unataka ilani kwenye interface. So the same applies to VLAN 20. We will do the same. Tutaingia kwenye ile physical interface G020. Then we add our VLAN ID, which is 20. Then we encapsulate that logical interface which is VLAN 20. Then after we can add IP addresses, descriptions, and the other features. So kwa sababu this actual ni sub interface, manake services zote zinazokuja kutokea kwenye router, kama zinataka zifike kwenye laptop A na laptop B, the services zitakuja na IP mpaka kwenye router. Zikifika kwenye router akiwa na forward kwenda kwa A na B, atazitag na corresponding VLAN. Kama ni services za VLAN 10, then atazipitisha kwenye sub interface G020.10 akiwa amezibind na VLAN 10. Ataipitisha kwenye switch, kwa sababu switch easy connection between switches in a trunk, manake zitakuwa zina allow hiyo VLAN 10 ipite. So the VLAN 10 will be allowed to pass via G020, itakwenda 0 to 0, itakwenda hapo, itapita mpaka kwenye access. Kwenye access, kwa sababu the interface that is connected to A is access, manake atai-unbind, atai-untag ile VLAN 10 kwenye packet, atai-forward kama jinsi ilivyo, manake itafika kwa laptop A kama ilivyo. The same applies to VLAN 20. Packet ikija itapita kwenye VLAN interface number 20, itaingia kwenye switch, kwa sababu switch ni access, ni trunk, itatraverse paka kwenye switch hii, itakuwa forwarded paka kwenye interface number B, then the communication will be done. So this is how we can achieve intercommunications kati ya computers kwa kutumia sub interface. Thank you guys, welcome again. My name is John.